Hey guys, good afternoon or good morning wherever you are. Welcome back to our channel. And today, just a quick update on our progression, like where we are on our current build, just to show you what's happening on our Stalker. And also, after that, we'll be looking at these skills that we can copy, like what's recommended and what's useful and what's not, that useful to us Stalkers. I will be showing you a spreadsheet to see how to use the copied skill as well as where to find it. So stay tuned. Um, yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at where we are right now on our current stalker. So yeah, not much has changed on our stalker. It's just that we did have some successful refines and some enchantments that we did. And currently we are on level 74 base level and job level 42. Right now we are at 2k strength, more than 2000 strength on PvE build, and around 44 to 45,000 P attack. And I mean, I'm not using my strength enchants right now. I'm just trying out the large enchants because I'm farming on large monsters, and also the new event, try illusion. Like every boss in here is a large monster. That's why I'm kind of leaning towards large enchants right now. But yeah, looking at the progress that we have, we are still on refine 6 for the weapons and the armor, but for the accessories, we kind of got lucky and we were able to refine them to +8. So this is huge. +8 blue gives you 29% strength, +8 purple gives you 33% strength, and +8 crit talisman gives you 54 crit damage. I'm still waiting for Moonlight to drop me the level 70 talisman. I just kind of can't afford it right now. It's still in 2.5 million, so I mean it's gonna be either Moonlight drops it, or I find a way to get some crystals, like maybe a boss drop, or just save for weeks. And I'm kind of having trouble doing that right now because I'm trying to build my Odin set, the orange set that we get from the Endless Tower, because I need that for some PvE events like the one that we have right now to try illusion. Because going in with the Baphomet on a white armor is kind of tricky. You have to dodge frequently as compared to going in with an orange armor, which gives like a lot of HP and a lot of def. So yeah, I'm just kind of prioritizing that right now. And yeah, by the way, I think yeah I got into the top 30 of the recent event for the first phase. That's why I have this back accessory, the little Baphomet. I mean, looks cute, but it's not that much. Does not give any stats. So yeah. Anyway, current enchants is Geffen increased strength percentage, and I still have some attack speed enchants because now I'm trying to maintain it at 814% attack speed, and everything else goes to damage like strength or a size enchants. I also have medium in here and also attack speed because we are still trying to maintain above 814% attack speed so that we can stay in the 5 attacks per second range. For the crit, I don't have any more final crit enchants because I was able to get to 78.78. I mean, yeah, 78.78 plus 50.35. That's about 128 crit, and it's kind of enough for the current level of the monsters right now. Pretty sure we'll be needing somewhat higher crit rate when we get to like maybe level 80 or level 90 monsters, but for now 120, 130 is okay. And also big change is our shadow equipment. We are currently on SE7, and yeah, I got lucky, got that in one tap, and I was able to level up Bound Dip 2 to level 5 and Double Strafe 2 to level 4, as well as Repeated Shot to level 2. I haven't touched validation yet because it's kind of it's kind of expensive. The validation scrolls, it's $20,700 a piece, and I kind of need 85 of that. Right now I only have 8, so I'm just letting it take its time. I mean, pretty sure I'll get to 85, and the only difference is like 4% crit damage. But I mean, this one is big. The damage up by 0.9%. So basically, for every 1% of the HP lost of your target, you get a 0.9% of that, and that adds up to your damage. In PvP, that's actually huge. And for the inscription and pioneers, I just level up what I can, but my priority will always be, your PvP stats. And yeah, and yeah, the last event was, KVM cross server. That was fun actually, and we got the results. So let me show you the results right now. So I'm looking at the ROX Global Discord, and these are the results of the cross server KVM that we had for the past 2 weeks. Yep, congratulations to Privacy. This is the server that we're from. We're from Treasure Ship, so Privacy is like the number one guild in here, and and I'm not from Privacy, so they are the strongest enemies that we have with our guild. Also, congratulations to Cool Pals. I met a lot of people from Cool Pals. I mean, all of them are nice, actually, and they're all very strong too. Heroes, yep, yeah, congratulations too. Then here we are at number 11. We are uninstall from Treasure Ship. So currently, I mean, if we're talking about servers, we're number two on our servers, which is not bad. Overall, we're number 11. So, and these are all the guilds that joined. I'm pretty sure I can only show up to 79 on my screen right now, but yeah, for the individual rankings, Neps actually got the first place with 527 points. I mean, it really helps if you can like, one shot everybody with your Sonic Flow. Neps is really, really strong, like crazy strong. And number two is Wolf. Wolf, that's VVOLF. Yep, also strong assassin. And actually, we are one of the stalkers that got in the top 100 ranking. I think, let me see. Yeah, there we are. We are on top 31 with 237 points, and there are no stalkers ahead of us. So, I'm considering that win. I'm the number one stalker in the global scene. Yep, it was a very good event. Like, breath of fresh air, because on our normal KVM, all we do is fight with Privacy, and they're all strong, and then we meet Foamy and Neps, and then we get like trashed everywhere. So yeah, it's actually a good event, and hopefully we can do that again soon. And yeah, the next thing that I want to talk about are the skills that we can copy with our plagiarism skill. I know like Global has a different, very, very different like concept on the plagiarism. It's actually kind of nerfed bad that we can only copy like skills and then turn them into our passive skills. Unlike in C that we can copy active skills. Though we can like cast triangle shot twice in a row. But in ROX Global, it's kind of different. And here I'll show you all the skills that we can copy from each job, and if it's worth it or not, I'll tell you on this one. So yeah, I color coded it. Like blue is kind of worth it. Like you can use it situationally. Green is very good. Like these are the skills that I'm rotating, and red is pretty much useless for both stalkers. Like I mean, this will differ from dagger stalkers, but I'm just currently showing you what both stalkers should be using. So yeah, let's go ahead and look at the list. So first is a skill that you can copy from an acolyte. So I mean, you can copy this from like a high priest or a priest as long as they went from acolyte. Like for example, Kyrie, you're still be able to copy it from high priest, but the silence from high priest you won't be able to copy it from an acolyte because they have to be high priest. So, you get that. So Kyrie, it's actually once you copy it, it becomes a passive skill. So every time you get attack, it will cast by itself, and it's kind of useful for blocking attacks. Let's say for PVE, you're trying to do BH and you're wanting to be a little bit tanky. It blocks attack from that, and also in PvP. But it's situational because if let's say two or three snipers are hitting you, your Kyrie shield will go out so fast it will become useless. So, I mean, that's just second priority. Then a skill that you can copy from Alchemist, Acid Attack. You use that with a Stealth Attack or Deadly Arrow. So it just continues damage for 4 seconds, deals like 30% of your physical attack, and anything that says like a certain percentage of your physical attack, it's just bad to use. It's not that good because we can only get so much physical attack. Let's say you're at like 30% physical attack, and 30% of that is like let's say 9,000 to 10,000. So that's the only damage that you'll be dealing like every second for 4 seconds, and that's kind of low. So that's a red. So just avoid that. Another skill that we can copy is charge arrow. Now this one is I like using this for PvP. So basically, it's just like an archer's charge arrow. It casts immobilize on a target. So what happened is that instead of stunning with assault, well, what you'll do is that you'll be immobilizing the target. I mean, they won't be stunned or they won't be slowed down. It's just that they will be immobilized. They can still attack and they can still cast skills. It's just that they won't be able to move in place. And that's actually good. Like if you're comboing with a mage and you want to, have the target stay on that certain area, just spam charge arrow on them. I mean, spam assault on them, and that's basically just using charge arrow. And that's green because I like using it in PvP. It's actually useful. The next skills, I mean, they're all red because I don't use them and I don't find them useful. Assassin, from an assassin, you can copy Supersonic Blow. What it does is ambush damage is increased by 10%, and every critical hit you do will reduce ambush by zero point 0.5 seconds per crit. While a Longbow Stalker does not really use ambush, so just avoid that. Assassin Cross 2 uses ambush skill. It's in there. You can just read it if you want, but I don't find it useful, so I'm skipping that. The Bard and Dancer, they do solo buffs. So it's not as strong as the normal buff you get from Bard or Dancer. I mean, it actually says here randomly grants a weakened version of like Sunset Assassin, Apple of Eden, Poem of Bragi, Humming, and the others, and each buff lasts about 30 seconds and it rotates. It like randomly rotates, so you can't really get the buff that you want. So it's not that useful actually. So just skip it. From blacksmiths, you can copy Adrenaline Rush. So so dealing skill damage, any skill damage will grant you the buff. I mean, it's supposed to be good. Like, I mean, it increases your final attack speed by 50%. It's just that this is the downside. The duration is 20 seconds, but the cooldown is 40 seconds. So that's quite a long time to wait for a passive skill to take in effect. So I'm just skipping that. Next one from Champion is Rampage Blaster. So when you hit a target, so triggers Excruciating Palm, dealing 200% of your physical attack. Again, anything with like percentage of your physical attack is bad. I mean, not necessarily bad if you have like a very, very high physical attack, but I don't think it's worth it compared to the benefits of the skills highlighted in green. So this one is 200% of your physical attack, and then if you hit them within a 3 meter radius, they are knocked back 4 meters and stunned for 1 second. It's just that it can only trigger once every 15 seconds. So it's kind of unpredictable still in PvP, so just skip that. For Clown and Gypsy, it's pretty much the same as the Bard and Dancer skills. It's just that you have like different buffs that randomizes on you every 30 seconds. And also it's still a weakened version. So I mean you can get EC or Eternal Chaos, but it's a very, very weak version, so just don't mind getting it. It's pretty much like trash. From the creator, I highlighted it I highlighted it in blue because I mean I find it useful actually, and I find it fun, most especially if I'm farming from if I'm farming large mob monsters that I can spam Rot Arrow. So instead of poison, what it does, it generates a flame area and it lasts for 8 seconds. So, I mean, as long as you can spam Rot Arrow, you can just like stack flame areas on top of each other, and every area will deal like 40% of your physical attack. And that basically speeds up your farming. So that's blue. But that's only for PvE. I mean, you won't use this for PvP. It's kind of not that good. Next one is Crusader. So you use this for with raid or rot arrow. Basically, instead of the poison area, it does a holy cross realm, which is not that useful actually. Maybe if you're farming undead, but everything else no. High Priest is silence, so every time someone attacks you, there is a 20% chance to inflict silence from the attacker, and it can only trigger once every 30 seconds, which is crazy. It makes it basically useless. High Wizard, a Meteor Storm, so every time you attack, there is a chance to summon a meteor at a target location. The meteor deals about 200% of your physical attack, and its fire attribute. And there is also a 20% chance to stun enemies within the meteor's range. So it's kind of good, but you know the delay is crazy. I just don't like using it. You're better off using the Lord of Vermilion from the Wizard for PvP and PvE because we'll discuss that later. Then oops, I deleted that. And then for hunters, we can copy focused shot. So it applies a mark to the target lasting 10 seconds that can stack up to 5 times. Each mark, it's an additional 3% physical attack damage to the marked target. So it's again a weakened version of a focus shot. And you apply marks with assault. And it's highly unlikely that you can apply assault 5 times for you to be able to take advantage of the 5 stacks. So just skip it. For the knight, these ones like make use of the skill reject sword. So we're kind of skipping it. It's good actually for dagger stalkers. So increase movement speed by 20%, and then every time you cast reject sword, it's an additional 20% for the move speed. And if you copy it from a Lord Knight instead of reject sword, you get weapon block. It's 20% chance to block physical damage. But we don't use that for Longbow Stalkers. So from Mage, the first job of the wizard, it's elemental arrows. So this is also a random auto attack skill. So every time you skill or do a normal attack, there is a chance to randomly cast one of these spells like Firebolt, Cold Bolt, Lightning Bolt, or Heaven's Drive. So these spells hit the target 5 times, dealing 500% of physical attack on the corresponding element. So it can trigger every 3 seconds. And using skills deal damage increases the trigger probability. So on paper, it looks nice because it deals 500% of your physical attack power. But the element is random, so it won't really help if you're doing boss hunts and stuff. Like you want to focus on one element, and it's kind of counterproductive. A merchant, a Midas touch. So dealing skill damage applies bounty effect, so you just get more zenny every time you kill a mob. So I'm skipping that. I'm not using that. From the monk, you can get call spirits. You basically every 3 seconds summon an orb around you for a maximum of 5 spears, and every time you do a normal attack, no matter how much orb you get, you use that orb to deal 300% of your physical attack as physical damage. And I mean, it's kind of with a high attack speed, it's kind of unlikely that you will be able to like stack 5 spears unless you stop attacking. So it's kind of useless for us. Paladin, using stealth attacker deadly arrow applies armor break status. It's just an additional 10% damage for 3 seconds and then the buffed enemy. It's kind of useless, not gonna lie. Sanctuary, well, let me change this. This is actually useful in GVG. Like if you're just standing on the imp and trying to heal your folks or trying to heal the imp. So every time you're taking like an attack, there is a chance to for you to cast Sanctuary below you, and that heals your party members. That heals the imp, and the heal depends on your physical attack power, and that actually helps when doing GVG. Professor gives you soul change. So soul changes your black hole effect to like decay stat. I mean, it doesn't change your black hole effect. It just additionally applies decay status to the enemy players caught inside. So what happens is that 10% of your enemy's maximum MP per second is deducted, and then it prevents MP regeneration, which is kind of not useful for us. And this is a staple for me, the one that you copy from Rogue and Stalkers. Friendly sparing, so it increases your max HP by 10% and increases your physical attack by 10%. So that's basically like two cards added on your loadout, and that's huge. So for example, I'm just too lazy to copy applicable skills or skills that I like. I just copy one from Rogue, and this is a mainstay for me. Sage gives you elemental field, so it summons elemental field at random on a targeted area. So anything that's random, I really don't like. So I'm skipping that because deals 25% of your physical attack as corresponding elemental physical damage per second. But what if you don't really need that element? So it's not that really useful. We can't really rely on something random. From snipers, what we can get is sharpshooting. This one is also useless, so it fires penetrating shurikens along a straight flight path. And you do that by casting Assault. So what happens is that if there are enemies lined up in front of you, and then you target the enemy farthest from you, what will happen is that you'll also hit the enemies in front of you, and then the next one until your assault reaches its target. So it's just like a piercing arrow, and it sucks that it cannot crit, and it does not do slowdown or stun effects, so it's kind of useless. From Swordsman, it increases your move speed by 20%, and then every time you cast Reject Sword, again for Dagger Stalkers, there is an additional injury effect lasting 8 seconds. So it's like a free Edgar card, but only for Dagger Stalkers. So Thief, Ambush increases ambush by 10%. And then when cast in hiding mode, it's guaranteed a critical hit, which for all we know, it always happens. Like, I mean, even if we don't have that skill, if we cast like assault or ambush from hiding, it's a critical skill anyway. I mean, critical damage. And Whitesmith gives you maximum overtrust. So anytime you do damage using a skill, it will buff you with an increased normal attack damage of 25%. I mean, that may sound good, but if we are to look at the duration and the cooldown, it's kind of bad. I mean, it only lasts for 10 seconds, and the cooldown is once every 40 seconds. So that's about 30 seconds cooldown. So, I mean, in a minute, you can only get, or you can only benefit from it like twice. So that's kind of trash. And another one, last one of my favorite skills is Wizard. So you can copy it from Wizard. This is the Lord of Vermilion. So when dealing normal attack or any skill damage, there is a chance to do Lord of Vermilion at the location. So it hits 6 times and deals 50% of your physical attack as wind attribute. Also, there is a 20% chance of inflicting darkness status on enemies within the area. So it kind of blinds them. And what's good with this is it can trigger once every 6 seconds. So it's actually fun to use in KVM and GVG, PvP, and just randomly casting Lord of Vermilion on areas and blinding people. And that's actually a good skill to have. So there you go. These are the skills that that we can copy sort of in ROX Global. So I only have like 3 green skills that I recommend. Again, Charge Arrow for PvP is very good. Friendly Sparing for your all-around needs. That's increase max HP, increase physical attack. And Wizard skill Lord of Vermilion for PvE and PvP. I mean PvE because that's a very large area of effect, and PvP for blinding people. And notable skills are in blue. So Kyrie from Acolyte, Demonstration from Creator, and Sanctuary from Priest. Those are like secondary skills that you might want to copy. All the others, if you're if you're a Longbow Stalker, I suggest just skipping them because you won't be able to use it that much. So there you go. Now we've seen our current progression as well as the results of the Server KVM. And finally, we were able to discuss the, plagiarism skills for our stalker. So yeah, hopefully you learned something, and hopefully I was able to help you with your current build. And any questions, just put it in the comment section. I try my best to answer every question in the comment section whenever I get to it. And just let me know what you want to see, and we'll try our best to do it. And yeah, again, thank you very much for your support, and thank you very much for watching. You guys have a nice day.